Okay. All right. We are recording. Oh, man, the fact that I'm at this point right now is pretty crazy. This project has been such a roller coaster. But yeah, I am here virtually right now to answer a bunch of submitted questions about a public art installation that Suryah Studio currently has on display at 1821 North Charles Street. If you are viewing this video because of Artscape, thank you so much for participating with the work and finding yourself here. I hope you enjoy it. But yeah, let's crack into these questions. The first one is, can you tell us about your artistic background and what inspired you to create this particular installation? My background really lies a lot on canvas. Um, Up until the most recent couple years, I've definitely been super heavy, primarily just on painting. Um, but my like full sort of background is really diverse. It includes performance art with ballerinas. It includes creative direction and styling in the fashion space. Um, that was really transformative for my art practice at the time, around like 2018, 2019. Um, I've done murals in schools with children. I've done brand activations and a ton of other different things that have really sort of brought me to this point. But really, really the primary sort of like focus point of my artistic background is to me the fact that like I've been doing this forever. I was born doing this. I think there's some like crazy divine intervention that has built who I am up through generations, and that's really a lot of the like meat and potatoes of what informs a lot of the work I do now. I hope that was an actual answer to your question. Okay, let's look at another one. Can you share the inspiration behind this unique art installation and how it came to be located within a Black-owned juice bar? Um, the installation is within 1821 North Charles Street. That is a Black-owned juice bar owned by two really good friends and colleagues of mine, named Todd and Michelle. I I literally just hit them up. Their space is literally in the heart of Artscape, and they've been on such a high right now with their business, and they've been taking it and scaling it to such amazing heights that I just really wanted to make sure that their space was able to get represented within the sort of like spectacle that is Artscape. And it was just a chance to work with people I'm really close to, which is kind of like the point of a lot of the work I do. I really want to use it as a way to connect with people who I'm actually in community with in real life. Um, so yeah, that's really where the inspiration came from. What are we looking at now? The installation seemingly blends traditional symbolism with a contemporary context. What challenges or opportunities did you encounter during this creative process? Oh man, that's a really good question. Um, Challenges or opportunities? I feel like it was definitely more opportunities than challenges. And I think the biggest opportunity was the circumstance of it being a window and the ability to create a sort of like familiarity using these objects in this sort of assembled way. I think that was the best opportunity. I think it's a chance to sort of have more tangible icons to build that connection rather than a more sort of like abstract expressionist visual display, which is typically my like go-to as far as the way I work and the way I distribute my work. So having this be super object based, super product based, super industrial and like home furnishing material based, I think was really great. Um, and I think that was probably the biggest opportunity with this. It's a new way of showing my work publicly that I've never actually done before. So this was really exciting to be able to sort of recontextualize not only their story, but also my story as well. Okay. How do you envision viewers connecting with the art and the narrative it conveys about cultural heritage and entrepreneurship? Like the like kind of the last question, I really think that the connection happens within within your own personal reference points to the objects that have been assembled. I think that the great part about having things that are so sort of like familiar in a mass market sort of way really provide a even platform for a ton of different people from a ton of different backgrounds to be able to sort of like find commonality and find space for themselves and their story within the work. So I think that has probably been something I'm really looking forward to with Artscape as the weekend sort of kicks on and people like participate with the work and go see the work. I just want them to find a piece of themselves within within these stories and have it be more of a like group experience rather than it just kind of being something that you personally align with in your head that never ever actually like leaves the depths of your mind. Okay. What's the next question? With Roots, We Fruit seems to carry a strong message of community and empowerment. Can you delve into how the installation reflects these themes and their significance to you? Um, mm, a strong message of community and empowerment. This project, I really see the mission of the word empowerment, but I really want to sort of preface what I'm about to say by the fact that I think people are already empowered. Um, I don't think any particular like mediums or compositions of work can or do empower anyone. Uh, for me, I think art and design, I think public installations like this are really great ways to engage the people around you in in a way that's simple. It's supposed to be a reflection of your environment. It's supposed to be a reflection of the things and the people around you. And that's why that's why all of this is based on objects. I think that so much of what the weekend is going to be is a lot of like these very like dreamy and expressive and fantasy sort of based um configurations and displays that I wanted to really make a nice container for people to have like tangible reference points to like themselves and others. So I think that's woven pretty well into this installation, and it's something I think will really be a great sort of a great stopping point and a great reflection point for anyone that just happens to be walking by and use the work, or they see this and they're like, I really want to go check out this work. Okay. Okay. Entrepreneurship and community empowerment are significant themes in this installation. Can you share more about the role of the Black owned juice bar in your artistic vision? Mm, I don't I don't know if I would say that entrepreneurship and community empowerment are really strong, significant themes in this. I think the strongest theme is really togetherness. I think community, I think togetherness, I think communication and comprehension are really strong themes of this installation. Um, with the juice bar, it's specifically, I really wanted to sort of use Todd and the Shell's story as like an anchoring reference point for a lot of the recontextualization that happens within the work. They started their juice bar because of their own personal journeys of healing. And I think that then evolving into a space where that can then also be facilitated for others is the sort of like the anchor that a lot of the work builds on. So I wouldn't necessarily say entrepreneurship and community empowerment is the exact language I would use, but I think I see the intentionality behind that language, and I can find sameness in that. Okay, what do y'all got from me next? Okay, sustainability and the environment are contemporary concerns. Did these considerations play a role in your choice of materials and the theme of fresh fruits? For sure, it definitely did. I think that art can be an amazing thing, but I also think art can be mad wasteful. Um, and I think because of my intentionality with the work and sort of the space I wanted to facilitate within the work, it sort of automatically drew me to physical references and materials and items that I kind of already had. So the fermentations, I already had those. Those books are already mine. That bust is the bust of Madame C.J. Walker. Is something me and my wife bought on our honeymoon. The dried flowers are either grown on our land or come from land that we've participated in being stewards of. So a lot of these things are have kind of already been within my own sort of daily rituals, which was a really big consideration for how this installation got put together, because I didn't want it to just be a bunch of things I actually did not have any attachment to. 'Cause I think that's a really disingenuous way to connect with others. Um, so a lot of what you're seeing are things that came from my home, that came from my home. And when they leave, are going back to my home. All of the organic things, the cut flowers, the fruit, all of that will be composted. at my local farmers market. So there's definitely a big consideration into sort of like the sustainability of a theme like this. And yeah, I'm really glad someone like kind of like peeped that. It was like, let me ask about that. Okay. We got a couple more questions. I'm gonna answer a couple more questions. The transition from concept to installation can be complex. What were some of the technical or logistical challenges you faced in realizing your artistic vision? Hmm. The biggest one that comes to mind is like the actual structuring of how things would be placed. Like what I knew I wanted this sort of this like staggering display sort of setup, but I was really sort of tied tied by like all the what if thoughts. So like what if it was this? What if it was that? What if it was this? Um so that was probably like the biggest logistical challenge is was figuring out what I actually wanted to use. And then when I finally decided to use the milk crates, the things got a lot easier until I then realized how hard it was um to get milk crates that weren't like stolen from behind a store. Um but that was a pretty like easy process once I actually found them. They actually came from a company out of New Jersey called Milk Crates Direct. Um, and they sell milk crates in a ton of different colors. So and they ship mad fast. So if you know you're also in the need of a milk crate based project, I would definitely I would definitely check out Milk Crates Direct. Not sponsored. I damn sure paid full price for all of those crates. Um, okay. Many artists have rituals or specific environments that aid their creative process. Can you share any habits or settings that have been particularly inspiring for you? Oh man, that's a really good question. Um, Definitely rituals of tea have been really inspiring to me. Um, really simple and fluid movement, very yoga-esque movement has been really nourishing ritual for me. A lot of time with people that love me has been an incredible ritual towards making this happen. To be honest, this would not be happening without the spectacular community of people that love me around me. They've been such a foundation for the process that's birthed this work that it's really all about like what you place around you and what you allow around you that like co-regulates and helps you like helps me get into the mood that produces work like this. So I'll definitely say I would say some good movement, a ritual of tea, um connecting a lot with sound and soundscapes has been a really big thing. I've been listening to a ton of music during this process. Even more than usually. Um, yeah, all those things, a lot of again, the work the work is pulled a lot from lived experience. And that's the easiest reference point I have is lived experience. And it grows every hour, it changes every day. And for me, that's such a relief because so many things can change. And that change is so malleable and accommodating that it takes so much stress off of me. Um, yeah, I've just been really inspired by by care, by caring for myself. That's where a lot of this work. That's why this work has been able to come to be. Okay. Last question. This is gonna be the last question. Reflecting on your artistic journey, what advice would you offer to emerging artists who seek to fuse tradition and innovation in their work while staying true to their unique voice? Um, I think first I would say that it's okay to not have a unique voice. Um, I think this sort of I think this myth of uniqueness and originality is so detrimental to the ecosystem of work that gets sort of put out into the universe that it's hard to actually keep a practice that's enjoyable and sustainable. Um, I don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm unique, and I don't think I'm original. I am I am an ever-changing sum of references, ideas, lived experience, nurturing, all things that are external and environment and lifestyle based that I'm never really ever trying to focus on being original. I just don't see I don't see the point of it. I think the world has gotten to where it's gotten because people have seen things that speak to them and nurtured and grown those things into something else and or to something that fits their needs or the needs of the people around them. Now, of course, it doesn't apply to like blatant, trademark and copyright infringements, right? But I think there's something there in saying that like just don't just focus on saying what you need to say. Just do that. And also be okay with being mediocre. I think that's something that's been really transformative for my practice too, is being very mediocre and not having everything together. No one has everything together. So much of this exhibition came together. We installed the 21st. Yeah, Thursday the 21st. And a lot of the pieces we installed at 3 p.m. I was still changing things at 2:45. Matter of fact, I was actually changing things 2 hours into the install. Um, and that sort of that freedom to be organic and to have fault, to have a vision that isn't complete was such a freeing process that I think it took the exhibition to such a another level and really overall has taken my practice to a whole different level. So yeah, that's my advice. Um, don't be scared to be mediocre and don't be scared to not have it all together in public space. Like it's cool. You can be a human being. Um, it's pretty tight. uh, but yeah, those are those are all the questions that I'm going to be answering today in reference to the public art installation that Suryah Studio has on view right now for Artscape Weekend at Treehouse Juicery at 1821 North Charles Street. Um, if you like this, if this was any sort of more of an insight to you, definitely consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Suryah Studio. That is a really great way to help me sustain this practice and keep doing great work like this. A lot of what we were able to do with this installation was made possible by Patreon members. So yeah, if you like the work, consider becoming a patron, consider buying some merch off my site, um, at suryahstudio.com. And also check out my link in bio service, with koji.com backslash Suryah Studio. There are a ton of different, things and links and places where I'm at within the digital space. But there's also a digital print shop that you can buy exclusive work from for me for only $5. So, the energetic exchange is amazing. Thank you for participating, but also like, gotta keep these lights on. But yeah, thank you so much for engaging in this, and I hope that you enjoy the work. Thanks.